Have you ever felt the sting of silence when your phone stops ringing with familiar voices? No close friend to share your morning musings over tea. No one to text just to say they're thinking of you. No one to turn to when life's burdens feel too heavy. What if the deepest ache of growing older isn't just an empty house, but an empty heart? In this video, we dive into a truth too often left unspoken. The quiet loneliness older women face as friendships fade, and how it shapes their joy, sense of self, and well-being. You'll meet Linda, a 71-year-old who confronted this reality head-on, and learn how countless women are rediscovering connection in unexpected ways. Stick with us to the end, because the most uplifting moment comes when you realize you're never truly alone. Before we start, I'd love your support. If this video resonates, please like it to help share these vital lessons. Not subscribed yet? Hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you don't miss a single video. If you enjoy this, drop a 1 in the comments. If it's not your cup of tea, leave a 0 so I can create something even better for you. Let's jump in. Part 1, Why Connections Slip Away After 60 and How to Bring Them Back. The answer does not lie in the years themselves, but in the subtle, seismic shifts of life that reshape their social horizons. By understanding these changes, you can take purposeful steps to weave new threads of connection, crafting a chapter rich with companionship and meaning. Life after 60 unfolds with transitions that can quietly unravel the fabric of your social world. Retirement, often heralded as a golden ticket to freedom, can feel like losing a vital piece of who you are. The daily exchanges with coworkers, the quick jokes over a shared lunch, the camaraderie of tackling projects together, the steady pulse of a work routine dissolve, leaving a silence that is hard to fill. When children grow up and build lives elsewhere, the vibrant rhythm of family life fades. The whirl of school recitals, sports games, and late-night talks gives way to a home that feels too still. The absence of their voices, a constant hum. Losing a spouse, whether through loss or growing apart, can upend shared traditions. The couple's dinners, the weekend hobbies, the quiet evenings spent together, they slip away, leaving gaps in your social rhythm. Even a move to a new town or a senior living community, intended to bring peace and simplicity, can sever ties with friends you have held dear for decades. These are not mere moments. They are like slow-moving currents, gently carrying your connections out of reach. This fading is often so gradual, it catches you unaware. One morning, you realize it has been weeks, maybe months, since you shared a conversation that felt alive. You open your phone, scrolling through names that once lit up your days. But hesitation stops you. Will they want to hear from me? Am I imposing? A heavier thought creeps in. Perhaps it is too late to rebuild what was lost. But let me tell you, with all the certainty I can muster, it is never too late. Forming friendships after 60 may not mirror the effortless bonds of youth, but it is absolutely within your power. In your younger years, connections bloomed organically, classmates became confidants, coworkers turned into comrades, neighbors grew into friends through the simple magic of proximity and shared time. Now, connection asks for something more: intention, courage, and a willingness to let your guard down. It means seeking out spaces where bonds can grow, like joining a local photography club, signing up for a community lecture series, or exploring an online discussion group if leaving home is a challenge. It means saying yes to invitations, even when nerves whisper no, or sending a small, brave message: I was thinking of you today. How are you holding up? These steps, though they may feel modest, carry a transformative power. Picture the women who rewrote their stories with one act of bravery. One joined a knitting group and found a friend who shared her love for creating beauty with yarn. Another started volunteering at a local animal rescue, bonding with others over their shared care for creatures in need. Another picked up the phone after years of silence to call an old friend, only to discover they had both been yearning for the same reconnection. These moments begin with a single choice: to show up, to be vulnerable, to let yourself be seen, even if the first step feels unsteady. Friendships in later life do not need to be loud, constant, or all-consuming. They can be gentle, profound, and rooted in moments that resonate deeply: a shared laugh, a quiet understanding, a story that reminds you both of who you are. A thriving community, whether it is a book club, a gardening circle, or a weekly coffee meetup, often sparks from one person who says, "I am going to try," no matter how small it feels. The beauty of this stage is that you do not need a crowd to feel connected. One true friend, one meaningful bond, can shift the entire landscape of your days. It might be the neighbor you greet each morning with a wave, the fellow volunteer who shares your passion for a cause, or an old friend you reconnect with over a heartfelt call. These connections are like anchors, grounding you in the truth that you still belong, that your voice still carries weight, that your story is far from over. The key is to start small, to be patient with yourself, and to trust that even the tiniest step forward counts. A single conversation, a shared smile, a moment of courage, they ripple outward, building bridges to new possibilities. Your experiences, your resilience, your unique perspective, they are gifts that can draw others to you, creating bonds deeper than you might imagine. Part 2. Loneliness. The hidden health threat. Loneliness is not just a feeling that tugs at your heart. It is a serious health risk that can harm older women as much as smoking or chronic disease. Public health experts warn that prolonged isolation can damage both body and mind. Yet it hides in plain sight. Unlike a broken bone or a fever, loneliness does not show up on a test. Its signs are subtle restless nights, a creeping sense of unease, a fading spark that makes you feel like you are slipping into the shadows of your own life. Let us revisit Linda, our 68-year-old retiree from Part 1. Months after moving into her dream home, she noticed troubling changes. She slept poorly, moved more slowly, and struggled to recall small things, like where she parked her car or if she took her vitamins. Her doctor said her body was fine, but her spirit was unraveling. Without the warmth of regular connection, her confidence wavered, and the vibrancy that once defined her dimmed. This was not just a rough patch. It was her body responding to the absence of human bonds. Science backs this up with sobering facts. Studies from the National Institute on Aging and other top research centers show that chronic loneliness raises inflammation, weakens immunity, and speeds up mental decline. Older women who feel isolated face higher risks of dementia, depression, and heart disease. Our bodies are built for connection, wired to thrive on shared moments, laughter, and care. Without these, our systems falter, not with a dramatic collapse, but with a slow, steady erosion, like a garden left untended. What makes this so painful is that many women blame themselves. They think, "I am just getting older," or "I should be stronger." But this is not about weakness or age. It is about a basic human need going unmet. Loneliness does not need a crowd to fade. You do not have to be the center of a bustling social scene or have dozens of friends. Sometimes, one meaningful connection, a person you trust, someone to share a quiet coffee or a heartfelt talk, can change everything. These bonds do more than lift your mood. Research shows they build resilience, helping you navigate stress, grief, or health challenges with greater strength. A friend's voice can steady your heart. Their presence a reminder that you are still here, still vital. Yet, Society often dismisses this need for older women. We are told to stay busy, to fill our days with activities or focus on family. But busyness is not connection. You can volunteer at a charity, attend weekly events, or walk daily in a crowded park and still feel profoundly alone. Loneliness is not about empty time. It is about missing those moments of true exchange, conversations that matter. Looks that say, "I see you." That is what so many women crave. Not because they have failed, but because no one taught them how to rebuild these ties later in life. The first step is recognizing that loneliness is not your fault. It is not a sign you are lacking or unworthy. It is a signal your heart is calling for connection. And that call is worth answering. Taking responsibility for your happiness means seeing this not as a flaw, but as a chance to heal. You do not need to overhaul your life or become someone new. A single step, a call to an old friend, a smile at a neighbor, a moment of courage to join a group can start the change. Your health, your joy, and your sense of belonging all rest on one truth. You deserve to be seen. And you have the power to make that happen. Part 3, the quiet loss that catches you unaware. Aging comes with changes we all expect. The creak in our joints, the gray hairs that multiply, the doctor visits that fill our calendars. Society offers advice on staying active, eating well, and managing health as the years roll on. Friends and family share tips. Doctors give plans, and we brace for the physical shifts we can see and feel. But there is another change, softer and less noticed, that slips into the lives of many older women. The slow fading of friendships that once brought joy and meaning to their days. This loss does not come with a loud announcement. It is not a single moment you can mark, like a retirement or a big birthday. It is a gentle drift. One day, you realize your phone has not rung with a friend's voice in weeks. The weekend gatherings that sparked laughter have faded. A close friend moves away, perhaps to be near family, or a loved one passes, and the warm rhythm of connection that felt so natural starts to slip away. For many women, this growing silence carries a quiet but heavy ache. It is not the sharp grief of a dramatic story, but a soft longing that settles in the heart, like a guest who stays too long. Think of Linda, a 68-year-old who retired to a cozy home with a garden she always wanted to nurture. She planned for this new chapter, a peaceful space, time to rest after years of work, a place to find calm. She thought she was ready, but she did not expect the emptiness that followed. Her charming home, with its blooming flowers and warm corners, could not replace the spark of a friend's smile over coffee, or the ease of a chat with someone who knew her deepest hopes. Without those ties, Linda felt like a leaf on the wind, her days lacking the anchor of human warmth. She wondered if the life she had built was losing its purpose. This is the hidden sorrow so many older women face. A grief our world rarely names. It is not about losing things or status. It is about losing the people who made you feel seen, valued, and alive. Our culture often ignores this loss. We are told to be grateful for family visits, to try hobbies like knitting or gardening, to volunteer at the community center. These are good, but they cannot fill the void left by true friendships. The ones that lift your spirit, challenge your mind, and remind you who you are. Yet, a stubborn myth lingers that older women no longer need or want close bonds, as if the heart's hunger for connection fades with age. Science says otherwise. Studies from places like the National Institute on Aging and Harvard show that strong social ties in later life lower stress, boost heart health, keep minds sharp, and even help you live longer. The data is clear. Friendships are vital to well-being. Emotionally, friends are more than company. They are mirrors, showing you your worth when you doubt yourself. They are anchors, steadying you when life feels shaky. They are sparks, igniting joy when days grow heavy. Without these bonds, life's challenges, a health worry, a tough day, a small frustration can feel too big. A friend is not just someone to share a moment with, they are a reason to keep going, to keep laughing, to keep believing you matter. When these ties weaken, many women start to think their loneliness is their fault. They wonder if they are less deserving of care, or if this isolation is just what aging brings. But that is not true. Loneliness is not a personal flaw, nor is it a required part of growing older. It is a challenge we can meet, a gap we can close. This is your chance to name the longing you might feel but hesitate to say. Maybe it is the wish for someone to share a story with, to call when the day feels long, or to sit with in easy silence. If that resonates, hear this. You are not broken. You are not alone. You are not out of time. The desire for connection is not a weakness. It is a sign of your strength, your humanity. And here is the hope. It is never too late to find that connection again. You do not need a full social calendar or a perfect plan. Part 4, the truth about street arting over. The notion that older women lose their desire or ability to form new bonds ignores the gifts of this life stage. Women over 60 often find themselves more grounded, more aware of what matters, and less concerned with pleasing everyone. Why? Because you have lived through life's highs and lows, love, loss, joy, and struggle. You have learned that connection is not about impressing others. It is about being seen for who you are. This clarity is a powerful tool, allowing you to build friendships rooted in honesty, shared stories, and genuine care, far beyond surface-level chatter. Let us revisit Linda, our 68-year-old retiree. After months of feeling isolated in her new home, she took a bold step and joined a poetry workshop at her local library. She almost backed out, her mind buzzing with doubts. What if I do not fit in? What if I am too old to start over? But she went anyway. In that small room, filled with soft voices and scribbled notebooks, she met 7 women, aged late 60s to early 80s, each carrying their own tales of resilience and hope. They shared their poems, their fears, and soon, their laughter. That weekly gathering became the heartbeat of Linda's life, not because it erased her challenges, but because it reminded her she still had a place, a voice, a story worth telling. Linda's journey holds a universal truth. Starting over is not about having the perfect words or a polished presence. It is about showing up, staying open, and letting others in, even if it takes time. You do not need a large circle of friends to feel whole. One meaningful connection, a single coffee shared, an honest conversation, a name in your phone you can call can shift everything. These moments are enough to rekindle hope, to remind you that your heart is still open to joy. If you worry you have missed your chance, consider this. Some of the strongest friendships are born not in the carefree days of youth, but in the bold reinvention of later life. This stage offers a unique gift, the freedom to choose your people with intention. You can let go of past expectations, of who you thought you had to be, and step into friendships that reflect who you are now. The women who overcome loneliness do not chase youth or cling to old patterns. They embrace the strengths of their age, the courage to be vulnerable, the wisdom to seek what matters, the clarity to build a life rich with connection. Think of the possibilities. A woman who joined a local choir and found a friend who loved singing as much as she did. Another who started a book club and bonded over stories that stirred their souls. Another who wrote a letter to an old friend after years apart, reigniting a bond that felt like coming home. These women did not need to be outgoing or flawless. They simply said yes to a moment, to a chance, to the possibility of connection, and that choice changed their world. This is your invitation to start fresh, no matter where you are in life. You do not need to overhaul everything or become someone new. Start small, Attend a community event, join a class that sparks your interest, or reach out to someone you have not spoken to in a while. It might feel awkward at first, but that discomfort is just the edge of something beautiful. Your life's experiences, your stories, your laughter, your hard-earned wisdom are magnetic. They draw others to you, creating bonds that can be stronger, truer than any you have known before. In the next part, we will share stories of women who found joy, not just in new friendships, but in the freedom of aging itself. You will see how they chose their people, reclaimed their sense of belonging, and discovered that this chapter can be the most vibrant. Yet keep watching, because what comes next might be the spark you need to step boldly into your next adventure. If this resonates with you, please leave a number 2 in the comments below to let me know you are still with me. Thank you for being here today. Part 5, Finding Joy Without Friends. Crafting Happiness in Later Life. Not every woman seeks désir or has the chance to build new friendships in her later years. And that is perfectly valid. Happiness in your 60s, 70s, or beyond is not a one-size-fits-all recipe. It is a deeply personal journey woven from your unique experiences, passions, and inner peace. For some, joy blossoms not in crowded gatherings or close friendships, but in the quiet beauty of solitude, the spark of creative pursuits, or the comfort of spiritual exploration. Today, we will redefine what happiness can mean, even without traditional social ties, and affirm that your life can be rich and fulfilling in ways that are uniquely yours. For some older women, life circumstances, remote locations, health challenges, or the weight of years spent caring for others may limit the energy or opportunity to forge new connections. Others find their deepest fulfillment not in the hum of social circles, but in the stillness of their own company. Aging offers a rare gift, the chance to reconnect with yourself, to rediscover dreams set aside during decades of raising families, building careers, or supporting others. In the calm of a quieter life, women unearth passion long buried. They paint canvases that capture the colors of their soul, tend gardens that bloom with the patience of their hands, or write stories that weave together the threads of their lived experiences. These moments of solitude are not about isolation. They are about presence, about choosing a life that feels authentic and whole. Can you live a joyful life without close friends? Absolutely. With a resounding yes. This is not about settling for less or giving up on connection. It is about honoring where you find peace, whether in the rhythm of a morning walk, the pages of a novel that feels like a friend, or the simple act of brewing tea just the way you like it. For some, joy comes from nurturing houseplants that brighten a windowsill, each leaf a small victory. For others, it is found in spiritual practices, meditation, prayer, or a quiet connection to nature's vastness that fill the heart with meaning. Many find delight in caring for a pet, whose loyal companionship brings warmth no words can match, or in mentoring someone younger, passing on wisdom that feels like a legacy. This embrace of solitude does not mean closing the door on others. Even for those who cherish their own space, small moments of connection can be powerful. These do not require deep, lifelong friendships, but they anchor you in the shared human experience. Imagine the brief warmth of a chat with a neighbor as you pass their garden, the quick smile exchanged with a shop clerk, or the quiet joy of sending a handwritten note to someone from your past, rekindling a spark across years. These fleeting interactions are like stars in a night sky, small, but enough to light your way, reminding you that you are never truly alone. The heart of this truth is that happiness is yours to shape. Society often pushes a narrow vision of a good life full of family gatherings, busy social calendars, or visible successes. But in later life, you have the freedom to rewrite that script, to let go of expectations that do not fit, And to craft a joy that feels true to who you are now, if you thrive in community, take those brave steps to build it. Join a class, attend an event, or reconnect with an old friend. If your soul sings in solitude, embrace that without guilt, knowing your quiet moments are as meaningful as any crowded room. Or, if you seek a balance, weave together connection and reflection in a rhythm that feels right for you. This stage of life is about becoming fully yourself, shaped by decades of love, loss, and resilience. Whether you are seeking new friendships or savoring your own company, your happiness is not behind you. It is unfolding now. There is no age limit on joy, no deadline for peace, no rule that says you must live by someone else's definition of a good life. You are still here, still growing, still capable of moments that make your heart sing. Take one small step today toward your version of happiness. It might be jotting down a thought that feels alive, taking a walk to soak in the world around you, or sending a message to someone who crosses your mind. If this resonates, share your story in the comments below. What sparks joy for you these days? What part of yourself are you rediscovering? Your words might light the way for another woman to embrace her own path. And there you have it, a journey through the quiet ache of loneliness, the power of connection, and the freedom to shape your joy. From Linda's story to the science of friendships, we have seen how women redefine happiness in later life. Whether building new bonds or cherishing solitude, your next chapter is yours to write. What sparked your heart today? Share one takeaway in the comments. Like, share, and subscribe for more stories to light your path. Let us keep growing together.